You open your eyes, and before your feet even touch the floor, a wave of dread washes over you. Your heart is pounding, your chest feels tight, your thoughts are already racing, and you're unsure why you're starting your day with panic. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Morning anxiety is something millions of people wrestle with, and it can make the start of every day feel like an uphill battle. But what if I told you there's a reason behind this, and real steps you can take to reclaim your mornings? Let's dive deep right now into why you're waking up with panic and what you can actually do about it. Before we get started, if you want more no-nonsense advice and practical tips to boost your mindset and well-being, make sure you subscribe to the Growth Mindset Project and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new episode. So, why do so many people grapple with morning anxiety? To understand, we need to look at the emotional systems wired into our brains. You see, our brain's emotional circuitry is designed to create both positive and negative feelings. Both are absolutely necessary. Positive emotions give us motivation, hope, and joy. But negative emotions aren't the enemy. They're like smoke detectors, alerting us to danger, keeping us sharp, driving us to solve problems, and ultimately keeping us safe. But here's the catch. Not everyone's emotional alarm system runs at the same volume. Some people are naturally more sensitive to negative emotions. They feel things deeper and more intensely. Maybe you notice you're more easily stressed or that the lows hit you harder. It's not your imagination, and it's actually very common. About half the population experiences above average intensity in negative emotions. For many, this high sensitivity gets dialed up to 11 right when they wake up. That leads us right into the heart of morning anxiety. Why is it so common in the early hours? Well, blame a little thing called cortisol. This stress hormone naturally spikes about 30-45 minutes after you wake up. It's meant to help you shake off sleep and get moving, but in people who are already prone to intense emotional reactions, it can make your mornings feel overwhelming. And if you're a poor sleeper, perhaps you have a family history of insomnia, or you simply toss and turn more than you'd like, this cortisol spike can feel even more intense. If you're feeling anxious in the morning, know this. Much of what you're experiencing is your biology talking, not a verdict on your character or your future. But biology isn't fate. You can absolutely learn to manage that negative emotional surge and start your day with greater calm, focus, and positivity. Let's talk practical solutions. First, it's worth considering what ancient wisdom and modern research have to say about mornings. Across time and cultures, people have recognized the power of the early morning hours. In ancient Vedic tradition, the concept of Brahma Muhurta, literally, the creator's time, is a period about an hour and a half before dawn. The idea was that this time is especially potent for clarity, concentration, and insight. Today, science backs up some of these claims. Studies reveal that people who wake before sunrise tend to report higher alertness, improved mood, and even greater creativity throughout their day. But you don't have to get up in the middle of the night or chase perfection in your wake-up time. The principle here is about being intentional with how you start your morning, witnessing the dawn, embracing the stillness, and giving your mind time to shift gears before the world gets noisy. Before we go further, if you're finding this helpful, please hit that like button and drop a comment below. Are you someone who struggles with morning anxiety, or do you have any personal tips that help you feel better in the mornings? I'd love to hear your stories. Now let's break down some actionable strategies that you can experiment with starting tomorrow. First, consider your sleep hygiene. If you're waking up anxious, take a look at how and when you're getting to bed. One key factor most people underestimate is that your morning truly begins the night before. Aim to establish a consistent bedtime, ideally one that allows for at least 7 hours of sleep. Try to wind down without screens, dim the lights, and perhaps use relaxation routines like gentle stretching, reading, or meditation, about 30 minutes before you plan to be asleep. Another factor that can drive morning anxiety is something called nighttime procrastination. This habit often shows up as an almost rebellious desire to stay up late, even when you know you need rest. For many, especially young adults, it's a leftover memory from childhood, when bedtime was enforced by someone else. Now, even though you're in charge, you still resist. If this sounds familiar, practice some self-awareness. Ask yourself, what am I trying to gain by staying up? And is it really worth the cost tomorrow morning? Often noticing this pattern is the first step to changing it. Second, try shifting your wake-up time closer to sunrise and give yourself the opportunity to experience the early morning quiet. Even if you're a natural night owl, a gradual adjustment, just 10 to 20 minutes earlier each few days, can help recalibrate your internal clock. Don't fall for the myth that you can't change. While genetics play a role in whether you're a morning lark or night owl, environment and habits have a massive say as well. When your alarm goes off, resist the urge to dive into your emails, news, or social feeds right away. Instead, spend just 5 minutes in silence or gentle movement. Witnessing the dawn, stepping outside, or even looking out your window at the morning light can have a real, measurable impact on your mood and anxiety. Studies support that this exposure to natural light first thing in the morning helps regulate cortisol, improves your circadian rhythm, and lowers negative emotionality. If you can, add a short walk outside. Even 10 minutes is enough to shift your emotional state. Also, keep in mind, not everyone will bounce out of bed with a smile. Many who struggle with morning anxiety find that even after trying these strategies, waking up still feels hard. That's okay. Some days will be tougher than others, especially if you're dealing with sleep debt, stress, or big life changes. The most important thing is to keep showing up for yourself each morning and to remember that these small efforts compound over time. Progress is about what you do most days, not what happens in any single morning. Quick reminder, if you're finding value here, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments how you're tackling your morning struggles. Your support helps us help more people just like you. Let's not forget, our culture often glorifies the morning person, those who leap out of bed ready to take on the world. The truth is, most people use an alarm clock, and very few actually enjoy that moment when it goes off. That resistance is totally normal. Maybe it's even necessary. Getting yourself out of bed and into the world, especially when anxiety is whispering doubts, is a win all by itself. Over time, as you gain confidence in your morning routine and learn to expect and manage those anxious feelings, mornings will get easier. Some days may still feel tough, but you'll have more tools to help yourself move forward. One last thing to remember: mindset matters more than perfection. You're not trying to banish every anxious thought, but to develop a set of practices and self-awareness that tip the scales toward calm, focus, and resilience. If you want more tips for mastering your mindset, check out the videos on your screen now and hit that bell to stay up to date with the Growth Mindset Project. Remember, every morning is a new chance, not just to react to the world, but to shape it for yourself.